No, but obviously these planes have been fairly fantastic so far. I'm curious to see if Rostock School and the Abs area is going to be super contested this time, or what's going to happen. But we'll see what's going to go with that. Obviously, first time we're going to have a proper plane for Morsk.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Time to head over to our commentary team. Take it away for game number 9.
Thank you for their sanity's sake, I guess. They're losing it. They're losing it on the desk there. Luckily, we have lost nothing. I have Moses here. He is
still
in
here,
full form, and he's ready to go. Planes come in northeast to southwest, and it's looking interesting. Any big changes that you've instantly seen, or is this just kind of as we expect?
I think this is kind of as we expect, other than these early game vehicle contests as we've seen in the past. Looks like this one will end relatively amicably unless O'Connell gets caught out, but Wolfos going to avoid an early casualty as the Chargers are going to distribute their mans around. That's unfortunate. First circle, mostly water. We have the Georgia Pole Bay, the river, and the Northern Ocean all in play. And this is now, this is the Bezikzad circle. This is the one they need. They're going to Zarki. They're going to do that split. This is the one they need to capitalize on. They got to turn this thing around. It's so close, all the way up and down the leaderboard. There's some teams up top starting to pull ahead a little bit, but anyone can vault into the top 8, and that's all they need to do. If Bezikzad can get into the top 8 and just solidify their position, get through the group stages, reset, refocus, and move forward, that would be a massive boost for a team that, by all rights, deserves to make it to Pro League.
With all of their previous achievements, I know that people will be like, well, they need to perform now, which is very true. And hopefully, this is the moment they will start doing that. We want to see them do well. We want to see the performance that this team can achieve. And as you said, there is no better circle than this one for them. This is the prime starting location. Everyone else, if you're looking towards the north, any Severny team is quite happy with this again. You can gatekeep, you can go wherever you want. You're kind of given the option. You're given the choices. Anyone to the south is not a happy bunny.
I'm a happy bunny.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Really happy. Sana boys, they're sticking to the Primorsk strategy. Galatasaray, they are going to be doing this a highly modified tempo loot strategy. No one going to Gatka, no one doing the chopsticks loot strategy. Method has a relatively clear path to the west. I'm surprised to see no one doing the Gatka split. It's not super efficient, but it's relatively safe if you can execute. Galatasaray, really far west, obviously Rye down in the south. And otherwise, as expected.
I'm just seeing if anyone makes any early moves, how much loot they can get out of this, how quickly they're going to play off the back of it. I'm still keeping my eyes open. I don't know who on earth is going to do well out of this one. It's so hard to tell in these games. We've seen so many different performers, so many different teams having big games. Moonwolf have been, rabid dogs in this one. They don't have to take their fights. I like them. I like watching them, especially on Miramar. They were aggressive and they wanted it, and you can't knock them for that. We do finally see a little bit more, I guess, presence towards the Milta side, but again, Milta Power, completely sparse of players. We see a lot of this happening, and it feels like maybe people weren't aware of where's available, or maybe they've read too much. Exactly. I'm surprised that they didn't come in today with maybe that in mind. I mean,
might change tomorrow. Might change tomorrow.
Exactly. Once they watch this, I can imagine they'll be like, okay, well, now we know this is potentially on the place. They could dabble with it. That's tomorrow, though. But today, as we said, we only had Miramar yesterday, so these teams are still working it out. You can see the live total standings. M19, Rye, the Team Rec guys up there, Red Diamonds up there, Team Ready, Accelerate as well, and the Finns of Sauna Boys, or should I say the other Finns of Sauna Boys, all doing well for themselves. But again, as you said, it was 3K that most teams were looking towards to be solid in this. Yeah. But there's no one that close yet.
Well, what I'm looking at is more so the difference between 8th and 16th, which is only about 600-700 points. That's if you're at the bottom of the leaderboard, you're there for a reason. So maybe that 600 and 700 points might be insurmountable for you, but it's not unrealistic that you could potentially get that if you're a decent team. And really, my pick for that would be Bezikzad, who's at 1,200 points. Yeah. These guys have potential. I think I don't know if they're tilted. They don't seem outwardly upset or anything like that, but just their play has been a little bit sloppy. Some easy mistakes that are easy to avoid. But for now, they have the circle. So this is the game that they can center up. They've got the coastal strategy. They've got Zarki to themselves. They've got the vehicles. If they can't make this work, they are really going to have to do some soul searching. I'll be interested to see, and I want to know how many Bezikzad fans are in the chat. Seeing lots of emotes here and there. But for now, this is the one where they need your energy, as they say, as the kids say. Children, right? That's what they're saying.
Hello, fellow kids.
Can I get a confirmation, children? Yeah, anyway.
Did you just call them children?
Children.
I don't know you've just given up on caring if people like you anymore. It's like, nah. I'll just take being hated, it's fine.
Children.
We do see a little bit of an early engagement here, and I say a little, I mean a lot. Chargers going to head past. That's Garbage Man who took a boatload of damage. That's from Krillian from Odense up towards the crash side of things. A little out on his own, but not by too much. I think his team kind of split around the area. We did see it around shooting range before, the little compound to the south of Severny, and the more industrial loot towards the east of that as well. They split across that before.
Careful.
Guys, come on now. Keep it together.
There's a pretty early, actually really early transition phase here happening for some of these guys. They're trying to make the journey south, or sorry, excuse me, coming from south, I should say, up north. And there's Besiktas. They're trying to capitalize on those early rotations as Team Chargers blast through the middle of Besiktas. Ultra's now going to rejoin.
Look at this. He's got. They've got to know each other around here. Simsy's holding a bit of an angle. Did he see that?
I think he did. Here comes a nade. Let's see if he can hit it. Pulls back
Simsy.
in the pocket, over the top. Oh, close.
That could have been good as well. That wasn't far off. The Odense player is calling for backup, but Ultra is there. Tomila is there as well. Surely they're arriving first. He's all on his lonesome. He's seeing it all happening. Good spray towards one, but this will encourage the push to start beginning. You can see Simsy now trying to rear up as well, getting closer with the Vector.
Dual peek it. Don't risk anything early game.
You don't want to allow 1v1s.
No, Tamil's on the outside. I believe Simsy's going to come out and join. This is exactly what they need. Dual peek it. There we go. Nice. That's what you want to do. I like it.
That's perfect. You cross the T's, dot the I's, and you kind of go through the motions. It may feel almost stupid in your head. You're like, we know how to do this, but you want to be particular. You do want to allow mistakes to happen. You don't want to allow it to begin. And we'll see what M19 goes for. They did have great plays on the circle. They were, I think luck could be a factor, but they also played it very well towards the end of it. And I'll see what they gifted this time around. Squeaky, couple of bullets going through, and everyone's transitioning. What rotations are we seeing so far?
Looking for now, we have some long rotations from Method. They're coming up along the standard path outside of Yasnaya to the east. They'll be joined by Team Ready, Moonwolf, and actually a bunch of teams who are still super far south. Besiktas having established early dominance in the center of the zone. They're starting to form up in the northern region of the first zone with Accelerate Gaming a little bit further to the east in the shooting range area. Severny has M19, the victors from last game. But for now, there should be a lot of space, but that water is playing a major factor. Here comes Andy. Or, sorry, excuse me, that's Wick and Method. Right by M19. He's going to jump out early.
Wick.
Is he going to make it? Wick.
Oh, God,
Again!
Wick.
Oh, my God.
What is going on with Method?
He's about to get beat down. Here comes Example. He's like, I want that booty. I'm going to beat it down. And Wick has no help. There's no help coming for Wick. No
he
BM.
wants his gear more than anything.
Yeah, I guess
Shooting the feet. Oh, Wick. Not like this.
That's got to be two games in a row we've seen that from Wick, dead in the shack by himself.
Yeah.
Just a little sloppy with the rotations going. He was by the shooting range, I believe, right? So, or just or by Severny. Yeah, south of Severny. Got to assume that's going to be covered. Here comes the rest of Method.
Maybe just feeling the timing wrong. I don't know. It was careless, whichever way you want to cut it. The rest of Method, you're going to have better ideas here. Let's see if they do. Chris working their way forward.
Quick shout out to my man Wacky Jackie. Thanks for stopping in.
The better YouTuber. If you ever want to cast Wacky Jackie.
Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight to the death?
I'll have you. Easy.
Whoa.
And I was going to say speaking of easy and then look at Method, but I don't want to be that mean because I hope that it gets better. I hope that this is not how their games go. Accelerate Gaming taking a lot of shots on the way, and you can see that Minox there deciding against that route. I'm going to go the long way around, and I don't blame him.
You're dead to me, by the way. I'm leaving. Solo
You're
cast.
not, though. Oh, so it's like normal. Okay, cool. Cool. It's fine.
Chat! I'm being trolled. I'm in a shower with this woman who's being very rude. We're in a literal shower.
See, can you clarify that?
We are casting from a shower.
Got it. There we go. If there's an echo, you might have realized why. It's a little tiled in here. It's an interesting time. Rye on the move over the bridge.
I'm not used to this. I'm very fragile.
Sensitive boy. Maverick having a little look around. I don't know what he's expecting. He might have heard Zoom going past. So we will see how this unfolds for them. Again, they were quite late into the circle, but they played it well. I don't think we can doubt it after the way they played that final position. Obviously, they did make mistakes. Maverick was one of the players who can probably get a little bit of the blame. Again, I don't like pointing fingers at people, but he did overextend a touch. But regardless, still towards the top 3, so they can't be unhappy with that.
Yeah, I was hoping to hear a little bit more of the breakdown there by the analysts on that last fight between the M19. They were very hungry. I have to say that. But the point is that I think that Razor Edge has not shown that they have the composure under stress as maybe some of these other teams. But it's hard, man. This is another water circle essentially coming in. It's still about 40% water, so this is going to put a lot of pressure on that southern side of the zone, I think. So for Toxic Gamers, Toxic players, I should say, and Red Diamonds, if they can kind of spread out as Red Diamonds has done and take this hill control outside of Northern George, they should be able to do a lot of damage up there with not a lot of room for error now in the center of the zone.
You started a horrible copy pasta. I hope you're proud of yourself. Finally, Hayes is relevant again to the pro scene. It's good to see that. M19.
It's been a while.
I know. Almost forgot who it was. Oh, no. The awkward time you pull up like that. Wait, did Elite player just found that too? They had an angle on it. I thought he maybe gone out of the line of sight, but apparently not. Sorry, Hayes. Still like
not.
You. Wow, don't commit to it.
He called me toxic earlier. I owed him.
So he called me something, so I'll live up to it.
Exactly.
16 teams remain, 61 players. A whole team is yet to be wiped, so everyone's holding on here. I'm kind of hoping this goes towards the western side. I much prefer that side of the map. I don't particularly like the hillside. I guess at least we're away from the open ground there.
Well, we'll see what happens in this next shift. Severity is likely coming out, shooting range potentially as well. And if shooting range does come out, look at that eastern side. I mean, there's just nowhere for team ready to rotate. Well, I guess they come in through Severity, so that should be okay for this one. But after this next shift, that south and eastern side is going to force everyone's middle, and there's just not a lot of cover in these areas. The coastline where Method is actually probably the safest spot to kind of ride out these first couple of circles. So for Method, if they can stay safe, and if the circle stays the way it is, kind of including some water but goes east or west, they should be able to avoid this pressure cooker on the southeast. Rye, again, is just, you know, they're having a good time in the blue. They're not really interested in joining the fight just yet.
Well, they weren't before.
Yeah, and they weren't able to translate. They get a second place, which is great. I mean, if they can get another second place here, great as well. But they're using up meds. They're just taking a lot of damage. So for Fast Rail and the boys, they have lots of bandages, but this is time wasted, in my opinion. They could get along the northern side too, come in northwest by Zarky, and potentially make something happen there.
I don't like these sort of plays because it's just hoping that no one else is in that sort of position you're coming in from, because you have so little chance of a fight at that point. Again, who am I to judge them? You know what I mean? Like, they did perfectly well before. Method, however, speeding perfectly well. 3 alive this time, so he did lose out on Wick. A bit of a shame because he's meant to be the young gun coming into this, right? He's meant to have that hot hand.
He's supposed to be the IGL, from what I understand. As that was discussed earlier. I mean, in the lead vehicle, the pathing in Erangel, especially in the northern portion, is so important. If you botch your pathing on your scout path, you're going to get killed, and that's exactly what's happened to Wick twice now in a row.
I think it's a bit of an underappreciated skill from, I guess, general public players who don't necessarily play against teams who will be so aware of that. And I think Wick's being punished in the most prolific way. And Constantine,
I see a foot.
He's, the Earthen player is showing a little leg there. Does he actually? He's looking for an angle on this, isn't he? Yeah, one. Can he get any more? Oh, it's too little, surely. Yep.
I think I've been spotted.
Just turn away. No one can see me. He is safe, but there's no players near enough by. I don't think any of the other angles from M19 can actually be like spotting them out, but they've got to be careful. They could be peeked upon. There's a lot of hillsides that they do not have security on, but do any of the teammates? No, there's none nearby. So
he's gone wrong.
He's done.
Here they come. Rye has entered the game. And they're immediately going to get shot at by Q-Rage. That's a lot of damage on the bike. Nothing happening there. No downs. But here comes the rest of Rye. They're going to be driving right through this. And they're going to stop. This is actually a decent spot to come and hold. I'm happy they've chosen this spot. However, the issue here, not quite in the zone. So this will be a good waypoint to stop at. but now they're going to have all of Q-Rage taking the zone in front of them and looking back at them in this defilade area, and if they're not careful, they'll get their vehicles disabled, which would be disastrous for Rye.
16 teams still here, and finally we do see the Unsa player go down. 60 players remain. We're looking to see who's willing to go where at this point. He was very much out on his own. I mean, no one's going to go and revive him. Where is that circle going to go?
East or west is going to be the decider of this game now.
Who benefits if it goes east here? Who do you think's got the best? Oh, well.
Nobody.
Well, apparently no one. The
this
water
is
wins.
Method's game. Besiktas as well, to an extent.
Kind of is.
They can. I mean, this is actually great for Besiktas because these circles are going to indicate that the next shift should come very drastically south. There's a lot of water in play right now. So for Besiktas, rather, if they can stay alive and stay steady, they should be able to replicate what M19 did in the last game, which is just ride a decent compound and a crate, apparently, to a good position. So if they can notice that crate, get that bonus, run out and grab it, stick to that compound, just defend it. This should be Besiktas able easily to get into top 5 because that southern portion of the zone is about to be a disaster.
God, look at it. Look at them all coming in. Oh, if you could see the map right now, guys, there's 5 teams all heading up. Look at this. All of them running the gauntlet. Sauna boys on the way.
Andy.
We have the Odense side getting picked up. Everyone's just mad dash. It is a land grab right now. A Method are warding everyone away as best they can. But it's Simsy. It's Tomil. We have Ultra finally kicking into gear. This is what we needed to see.
I mean, good luck with the kill feed on this stage because there's going to be about to be a ton of death everywhere. We'll just have to see what settles after this rotation is done because everyone just crashed middle. There's so much water. M19 is trying to fend off Sauna boys. They're getting forced into the ocean. They're dropping off like flies. Example's got to bounce down and away. He's just trying to get away, but Nookie is already down trying to cut off the flank. This is a meat grinder.
Yeah, this
meat
is...
review.
Gotta get a clap in. The Sauna boys are on the hunt. They want to have a go at this one. Nookie swimming. Example is running as fast as his little legs can carry him, but it might be too little too late. He's going to put a smoke up, but how far can he get to? He's trying to dodge everything he can. If they spot him out, though, he is done for. Somehow, he's still alive here. How have they not peaked that ridge yet? Maybe they're just happy with what they've got. A couple of shots may have just come in towards their direction from the other M19 players, so somehow... this one man with no pants is making it away. Lai did find Maverick. We are seeing kills in the kill feed. Keep your eyes towards that if you're looking out for a specific team, because somehow there's a madman in the fields, and he's made it to some safety.
I think 20 people just died, and it's not showing any
but
signs
not a
of
single
slowing.
team.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 16 teams. There's going to be a lot of snakes. Looking around, actually, I think there's still 2 up for Reciprocity, but for Moonwolf, they're down to 2. There's so much water in play. This just makes the game so much harder to play.
We are seeing Method getting potentially pushed out of their previous spot. They are being aggressed upon. Sauna boys could turn attention towards that. Raffi thought it was a gift for him.
Oh, that would have been Moonwolf out if he had landed that.
Oh, the barrel is a cruel, cruel mistress. Didn't quite get the shots wanted. And it does seem as though Method are okay for now, but there's potentially 2 fights on 2 very different fronts from 2 decently good teams here. So, I mean, again, it's one of those very hard situations for Method. They do not want to get called out again.
Circle shrinking, 50 seconds before the next phase. And this is looking good for Besiktas. This should eliminate a lot of water, but who knows, at this stage it might go full coastal on us, and that would be good news for Method, who also needed a good game. So for both these teams, they're looking up to benefit from this second game here on Erangel.
Look at this.
This is rough.
I'm amazed that we haven't lost a single team yet. I know there's a lot of snakes and there's a lot of individuals finding anything, any modicum of cover they can, but you can see how intense this is. Every angle's got threats. M19 found the Sauna boys, so that's kind of negating Method's presence in this, and that's going to be swinging it back to the coastline fights. They'll be finding out from there. That's M19 towards the southeast of the map at the moment. Toxic's in between them, but at this point, you've got to be careful. You don't be losing out on those helmets. Thankfully, for Nookie, he still has his on, so that did not get picked up.
Reciprocity, they've got a little bit of a ridge to work with. They've been battered quite badly. Raffi has been doing such good work at distance with those DMRs. He's been a big factor for Reciprocity's success so far. Still in the top 5, obviously, but they need to fight to stay there as it's so close up at the top of the leaderboard. And really, it's a lot of spread out players and shacks and in small pieces of cover. We've seen most of the water come out. So now this is exactly what we've expected. Tamil's gone down, but at distance, so he'll be able to be easily res. So Besiktas has got a nice hold. If we could bring the map up briefly just to show everyone what's occurred with this next shift. We'll kind of see now how exactly Besiktas has benefited with the Sauna Boys on the coast. Method there as well. So for Method and the Sauna Boys, the coast is going to be home. Getting out of here is going to be difficult.
Certainly will be. It's hard to find that full safety, isn't it? You have your backs feeling safe because of the water, but your flanks, your further sides, the extremities always feel a little vulnerable here. It's so many angles looking towards it. Do you think they have enough bikes, though?
I think they have enough bikes. I mean, bikes! I mean, they need to have maybe one more.
Why did you shout that? What is this?
Tom Segura fans would understand.
Oh, it's like, you're talking to that one person in chat again, aren't you?
Maybe.
All right,
You know,
fair enough.
if I can reach just one person, then, you know, is that how that phrase works?
I think so, yeah.
That's how my stream works anyway.
Oh. I can't flame you when you're being like bad to yourself. All right, we have a couple of the huts getting some players in. The smoke wall is up, so Divine Arrow does get his way. We'll be seeing the Red Diamonds trying to stay alive. They're getting pressured from just about everywhere. I mean, this is...
Some people got it.
I see two people in chat. You're good. I think maybe Setzer's got it too, but he just spelt it wrong. I'm not sure, but congrats on the 2. I'll give you that. You've doubled up your numbers.
Getting there, one step at a time. This southeastern portion of the zone, again, still undecided. As there's a few people scattering in. Reciprocity is there. Western, same side. I mean, the waters come all the way out. So this is actually going to be the slowest zone of this game. As I say that, Rise is about to get destroyed.
Well, that could be the first team down. In theory, somehow, even with all of these kills, we still have 16 teams. 46 players, a good couple of individuals roaming around the place. Kofes somehow still has his helmet too, which is always impressive at this point. Seems a little bit suspicious if there's anyone below him. Not the case. Perfectly fine. And actually, it's the Red Diamonds not looking so good. That's Senpai. And best luck caught up there. Nate goes a little too far to confirm the follow-up. But we are seeing Rai turning this one up a little bit, adding that pressure going, because they need to. They have to fight their way through this one. Senpai does go down. That's going to be confirmed. At least they've cleaned that side of it out. Andy still alive there. Saw that Car 98 coming through. So Method's still very much in this.
Andy's doing work now. Got that long distance shot landing and finishing crossfared. So this next shift is going to be a major factor. Again, this is the kind of the slow circle. Since most of the water was adjusted out, we kind of slowed the game down a little bit. Here comes Andy. He says, hey, how are you? Pop. Ooh, on the run, no less.
Let's go, Andy.
I like how he does the turn away, like just like the fade away headshot at distance while on the move. And we will see the next shift. Besiktas, the best spot in the current zone. We'll see if that continues. It should, as they are basically dead center. And now this is where the snakes will start to die off. And here comes the shift. So we'll see what happens with Besiktas. They will maintain their position, although barely, as we shift most of the way to the east. M19 has a bit of an advantage, but we'll see what happens now.
I think about 9 teams, potentially 10 out of that circle. Eyes towards it, M19, trying to recover safety on the eastern side. They should be perfectly fine, but Ryan might not be. Maverick, the man who made the mistake, did have cover this time. Fast Rail holding the push. Im's getting a little ahead of himself. They're trying to make something happen off the back. Still 16 teams stand. No one is out of it yet. Furia on the other side, though, trying to still play this one out. He's the last man standing for his team.
Furia is basically stuck here as his teammates are being destroyed all around him. Ali now being naded by Iroh. Here comes the follow-up. Pop, there he goes.
Perfect.
Iroh's looking good so far, and there goes Maverick. So Rai on the edge, getting slowly rubbed out of this game. Furia and Fast Rail together solos with, I believe, Krillian as well. It might be a solo. So we will see very quickly the team count start to drop here at minute 25.
Saying that, I haven't seen much of Rek. I just saw a name in the kill feed. Where are they currently? Southeast. Okay, so Skoom and Rafi are there. I think there's potentially a revive coming in towards them. We are waiting to work out the sound. Hopefully we get that back for you guys. We do know, do not worry. However, the spray's coming in. Fast Rail, the saving grace of what Rye was going for so far, takes Garbage Man down, but Fast Rail has to be careful. Last man alive. Rafi does bleed out in the end. We are still with 16 alive somehow, even though you can see that southwest side is absolutely madness right now. Kofes goes down. There it is. First team to fall comes through, and now it all kicks off. The blue begins to move. Garbage Man is being locked in. Oh, Fast Rail. Oh, he gets outdone. done?
He was just sat in the open, just like, yeah, I think I'm being shot to death. And Fast Rail and Raise Your Edge are out in 15th place. I mean, there was a tree right next to him. I think he would have taken a little bit of hard cover, but he was just hoping for, I guess, the headshot. But okay, that's that.
All right, Sid. Well, look, Sid was the MVP before. The guy somehow stayed alive. Oh, Krillian's doing the same thing. Oh, that's a little bit naughty. Timing could be terrible for Sid if he gets caught out here. If Krillian just comes out and one-taps, but maybe he's not going to. Maybe he has to just heal.
Yeah.
I think he's so far out from that. Method trying to fight their way forward. Simsy, this is what we wanted to see from the boys. Simsy now lining it up, and another kill comes in. That, I think, is Scoom gone. Yep. And this is worrying for Rec. I don't know how many they've got alive. I think maybe one, if that. If
nope,
not, they're done.
Yep.
13th place. What a
oh, no.
Oh, Krillian, no! What? Oh. Buddy, you've had an absolute disaster. Sid's still on the move. This has gone from looking majestic and wonderful to being an absolute clown fiesta.
We just went from 16 teams to 9 very, very quickly. And there's another one out as that's an instant kill. So a Moonwolf was out as well. Wow.
What is going on? Oh, pray for us. Southern Circle hits the Sauna boys. Getting a little bit of flack from M19, who seem to be going from strength to strength here. And Besiktas looking to see where they currently reside.
They're in their compound. They're going to keep the wall in a small shack. So if they can deal with Forza, which they're currently looking at from the comfort of their smoke grenades, they are going to start shooting out that way. If they can get rid of Forza on the south side, they have a ton of space. Now, Method is going to – this is where the coastal teams are going to run into trouble. They have Sauna on one flank. They have M19 looking at them. And when they start to run out, they have two teams in M19 and Toxic looking back out towards them. This is not going to be an easy run for Method.
No, I feel as though Method might be done for if they're not very aware of everyone looking at them. I just don't see how, even if they get down the Sauna boys, how do they then flex into the circle without everyone staring them down? Because there's relative safety on the southern side. I don't think anyone's going to be crumpling into each other. They might get a couple of picks, don't get me wrong. You might see, you know, an SKS, Car 98, 24, something coming into it. But again, it will be all eyes on Method or Sauna boys, whoever makes it out of that. We do see finally Besiktas getting a little bit of attention from Team Ready, but nothing too much to write home about. And, uh-oh.
Here we go.
Show me the money. Show me the damn money. Here we go. Nade goes in.
Oh.
It's good for one. That'll do. Didn't quite get one into the shack itself, but now they can have a little look on this. They're feeling themselves. The Sauna boys did just get caught as well. That's going to be going on in the background. Another nade trickles in and trickles past.
Got to be careful in some of these situations not to use too much utility. They do know that there's one left in the shack. They can see him crawling in there. Example's going to have to get brave and try and spray this down. Horkan is there waiting. He hopefully has a trade back with one of his teammates, but they have to be decisive. They can't wait in the open like this, especially in a phase shift where there's so many people moving. Chris is going down in the background. Wells is going down, so there's a lot of death on the edge of the zone. I should say. But M19 needs to be decisive here. Elite players down in the background. They got to make this thing happen. They had this happen to Rise last game where a guy in the shack just distracted them for so long that they get wiped. Oh, no, not like this. Horkan comes out of the shack and takes down Example, and finally Constantine will do something about it.
They just potentially lost 2 players for the sake of that. I do not know if that is going to be worth it in the long run. We're going to find out. The revive's going to probably happen, though, so that's okay. Method, in the meantime, did get found. Nice control from Hawk there. Forza Esports looking okay. Oh, no.
That's 2 down, but I think Besiktas still has 2
Where
up.
are they?
Yeah, they're still in the compound.
Okay, so they're the ones who didn't leave the compound yet.
Did they send one out? I think they must have sent one out with a vehicle. I'm not sure exactly how they both
Pretty
died
sure they sent
there.
2 out with a vehicle and they just got blown up. I'm just wondering how they get away from this position. I don't know how much utility they have, because there's not a great deal of cover pushing in. You can kind of, I guess, occlude the area you're in, but Team Ready are sitting really nice in this.
They're looking good. I mean, they've been playing very consistently all day, and now they've got the zone control. They've got a 2-2, not necessarily split, but there's dead center with 2-2 looking different directions. And this is now Besiktas having to make that desperate run out in the open with Forza looking at them. So, I mean, the zone came away from them. They tried to do something with this vehicle push. I didn't see. I think they've come out to the right there. I didn't see exactly how they decided to push that. But for Besiktas, I hope they have some utility left because they're going to need it.
They certainly are. I'm sure we'll see that hit the floor once it does begin to happen. Team Ready taking fights on several fronts. I think they're just very aware of where people currently are. You know you're going to have Forza around.
I back that Dossie up and make a little bit better cover.
Yeah, Sauna boys still have Nookie alive. That's quite impressive. He somehow remained unscathed from the original fight that happened towards the north. M19 do have players remaining. We saw that scuffle earlier that cost them their players. And it looks like Constantine has a good bit of line of sight here, whether or not he chooses to open up on it. Beyond the point, not into the safety zone. 10 seconds remain on this one until it forces Besiktas out. And I'm wondering what they do. They've got a caster, or they've got the bike still. Oh,
I don't know what Besiktas is going to do here. They're out of time. So if there's no utility, here it comes.
Oh, is this a whiffed smoke? I don't know if I like this. I'm a little worried on the go.
They're late.
They are. This took far too long. The utility was late. And now, look at it. It's the killing fields for them. I do not see this working out well. Iroh has punished, and it's done for Besiktas. Where was the assertive moves? Where was that perfection, the flawless play that I wanted to see coming out of it? It's opened this game back up. Surely, though, Team Ready are at the helm here.
That's an unfortunate turn of events for Besiktas. They had that game. I mean, it's a top 6 finish. That's in the top 8. Well, you need to get top 8 for Besiktas. So top 6 finish is okay, depending on how many kills they had. But I mean, the utility deployment there was so late. I don't know what.
Why did it take so long to smoke?
I don't know what the game plan was either. And here comes 6mo as Team Ready is just asserting dominance with 15 kills. Oh my God! How did I just notice this?
They're doing insane, and it looks like it's not over yet either. The only issue could be M19. I don't see too many players looking their way. 6mo might be able to turn on a dime and spot him out, but 6mo again finds another. That's going to be Rustan Mar, though, biting back at the cherry. Iroh watching for the play coming out, if only they had a nade or something of the such. But the question is, are they taking too many fights on too many fronts, or is this fine for them? If they've got 16 kills, I think they already used them. They've been in fights the whole time. You've got 16 kills. You've been in fights all the way through. 4 teams remain, and Team Ready are in the middle of all of this.
Team Ready's looking good, but I don't think Iroh can do anything. They're getting reses off in the back line, medding as well, so he's doing a good job of just holding. He's going to back off a little bit, maybe look for a dual peek. He's only Iroh's by himself. He's been carrying a heavy load. M19 inactive, Accelerate Gaming a little inactive as well. So Iroh's going to let one out. There's actually only one in the shack for Trifoli. They're shooting out. I'm not sure at who. I think they're just checking
M19.
bushes. Yeah, just checking, maybe checking for snakes as well.
Yep.
So for Forza, not a lot of options either. So Iroh and Team Ready are just kind of standing in the zone, waiting for something to happen.
There's so few options for the other teams. I think M19 could be annoying, but it'd need the perfect timing to fall in for every single other team. They'd need, fourth parties coming in, which is so unlikely. M19 watching this unfold. They have 10 seconds until circle moves. This would be crunch time. Team Ready need to be ready. They have to prepare for this. They need to know which fronts to be fighting on. The communication has to be crisp, and it looks like it has been. We're going to find out if that keeps up here. Constantine, again, patience. You can see him waiting so long for this shot he wants to take. He has to move up. He has to find the line of sight. He's found one.
See what Accelerate's got up their sleeve here. They're doing a vehicle push. This is probably a distraction play to an extent. Rustamar does go down. I don't think that's going off the way they wanted it to, but now M19's made their position known as Iroh picks up yet another kill. This is 17 now. Iroh with 4, and there goes Forza. And this is a top 3 finish at minimum for Team Ready. And now M19's got the zone at their back. They're taking a lot of damage, and the shots do come out. Beautiful death does go down. Team Ready's going to lose 1.
Okay, is there any more? Can Constantine help out? It looks like he's in trouble. There's the response from Mert, though, goes in on the spray. We're down to 3 teams. There is still Trifeli in the back lines. I don't know if he can maybe change something here, but Team Ready still hold this one together. You can see the prone player moving forward.
They're missing utility so much right now. They were wishing they had nades.
Smoke, something. They could easily dig themselves up. You can see that bloke just creeping them further forward. 30 seconds, and it moves to the middle. They've got to win these fights here. And M19, I don't see them winning this, but I don't want to look past what they can do. Again, if somehow Trifeli helps them out, there's a window. It's small, but it could happen.
So now Team Ready has got the last zone at their doorstep, and they have basically trifecta along the middle of the circle. This is going to prevent any snakes from sneaking in. Trifoli might go down. They have a lot of control.
1 second is go time. Smokes are up. It's time to go. M19 needs to win this fight.
Ooh.
He's got him.
He went down to the zone.
He's got
he went down
though.
to the zone.
He's still got Constantine. He needs to now be the key factor in this. He did everything he could. Constantine denies the kill, takes down Elite player from what it looks like, but still Team Ready have 2 players up. Trifeli. Oh, he's taking down Iroh. This could all go wrong. Oh, Trifeli. This is insane. And now M19 close it out.
Wow, they stole the game. M19, they lose 1 to the zone. They even made sure that they don't give away any points by executing their own player. And M19 at the end of the game just barely hits a snipe and steals it as Team Ready fall apart on what was a